Are you in round? Okay. You gotta get past the eave, so we're gonna have to move that log by a couple feet. Probably just grab a ratchet strap. We'll just hook it to the bucket and pull it. The value of a cordless coffee pot until now. I'm on cup number 2, but if there was a third, I'd probably drink it.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
The goal is not to drive past it, just drive far enough.
Yeah, right.
It's day, I don't even know, we totally lost count, of our standing seam metal roof installation. And today we're moving to the east side of the house, which is really exciting. Even though the west side of the house is what everybody's gonna see when they come up our driveway and what we're gonna see most of the time. We started on the west side, and we start most everything on the west side because it's the side that has been the easiest to access, because we had that tree in the way on the east side that we made the executive decision to cut down yesterday because we no longer feel we need the shade and it was making our life very difficult. All that said, we really feel that we worked out a lot of the kinks on this side of the roof, and we feel that we've somewhat refined our process as much as you can. We have Anna one more day. We're very lucky, but she has to go home tomorrow, and then we have some more friends coming a couple days from now. So we might have one day of downtime. So we're gonna see how far we can get today. There's no way we're gonna finish that side of the roof. If we're extremely lucky, we might get half. But we know that we need to spend a lot of time squaring that very first panel. We were extremely diligent when we squared this panel, and guess what? Within reason, our roofing stayed exactly square all the way across the roof, and we had no problems with the very last panel. So it's worth it to take your time on panel number 1. The challenges we see though for the east side is loading the panels when we first start on the north side of the house is going to be a little bit challenging because we took the contraption off, and then we have to boom out to the other side of the house, put the contraption back on, and we're gonna have to load the panels from the back of the house. But hopefully there's maybe only 8 to 10 panels we need to load that way, so as soon as possible we're gonna remove the contraption, drive the forklift backwards, and start loading from the front of the house, and then things should go very quickly. The pros of the east side of the roof is that it tends to be a little bit cooler because the sun is off the roof earlier, where the west side, as soon as it's noon o'clock, it is really hot until the sun sets around 5 o'clock behind our trees over there. And also, the west side is the windiest side of the house, which, if you saw a couple videos ago, we actually lost a full panel off our contraption. One gust of wind came when Jessie wasn't holding on to it, and off she went. She's completely damaged. But guess what? We do have, I think, 1 or 2 extra panels, so we shouldn't need this guy, but we really don't want that to happen again. So east side, less windy. What we've been doing is having Anna prep 4 panels, and then we take 4 panels up and Jessie and I install them. I'm not sure if we're gonna continue to do that today. Jessie mentioned staging more than 4 panels on the roof so that we have to go up and down fewer times. But I can tell you, after 4 panels, we're usually ready for a bathroom break because we're trying to drink so much water to stay hydrated. We can also tell you that this job is not possible with 2 people. Jesse and I must be in the basket, and then we must have a 3rd person running the forklift. So our friends that are coming in a couple of days, they might be able to drive the forklift for us, in which case we might use Anna's help to stage panels so that we can finish without their help. Because without their help, we really don't have a plan B. We might have to wait a week or more for someone to be kindly willing to run the forklift for us. So it sounds like we're having trouble getting the basket in a position where when we mount the contraption back on it, we can actually load the panels in a non-risky manner from the back side of the house. Because these panels are so delicate, we really don't want to be scrambling on this hillside with them just to get them loaded on the contraption. But we will if we have to. But it's worth the investment to see if there's a better way. Holy crap, we're gonna make it?
Holy crap, I think we're gonna make it. Maybe. Ah! I don't think we're gonna make it. Nope.
No?
Nope.
Like, are we SOL?
No. We just have to do the rocky scramble with 30-foot roofing panels. No big deal.
Yeah.
Freaking annoying. God dang.
Do we want to do the rocky scramble together and see how bad it is?
We don't have a choice. Don't matter how bad it is. Just gotta take our time. Yep, we're gonna have to go all the way up and around, cross through here. I'm not going that way.
The pain in the grass.
Yeah, that's death walk right there. At the bottom, there's actually death certificates. You just sign it when you're at the bottom.
Right.
And then you can't go through the gate till you sign the death warrant or whatever. Yeah.
I vote we start a curse jar and we all put like $1 into it every time we curse.
There's not enough money.
Every time Anna thinks about cursing, because I don't know that I've heard Anna curse yet. And then whoever curses the least maybe gets to go buy ice cream for everybody with the amount of money that's in there.
Right. There's not enough money in the world. Sorry.
Anna wants to know if cursing in another language counts as cursing.
Bloody is cursing. Apparently we have to sit down and have a board meeting and define all curse words to be sure we're playing fair. In which case we'll have to put it to a 6-4 vote. That'll take all month. Then we'll maybe send it off to Congress, and then we'll ship it out for people's popular vote. Maybe by 2025 we can have something drafted for people to look at to decide whether the curse jar will work. Sorry, was that too bureaucratic for you? You just wanted to build a roof? 63 pounds, I think. Need you in the basket, Anna, or in the forklift, Anna. We're not there yet. You just need to guide Anna to get this mounted to the basket. This mounts where you're leaning right now.
Oh, right. Well, that's better.
Let's try Anna's theory that she can tilt far enough to get into that little hole. So have her come back down and try to get into that hole with this past the house. The basket will not fit in there because that side of the basket's hitting the dirt. So she'll have to tilt toward the house to keep that side of the basket from hitting the dirt.
This is the best we can do. What do you think? Is it worth a shot?
What a nightmare. But both backsides were nightmares. No, the other side wasn't too bad.
This side's worse.
Worth a shot. I mean, yeah, we don't really have any choice right now.
Well, good thing we cut the tree down. Otherwise, this wouldn't be possible at all. Like, that would be a total nightmare.
Then the curse jar would have to go from like a 1-gallon jar to like a 55-gallon drum, basically. Let's do it. Let's try to figure it out. There.
Come up a little more. Up, 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 up. Back.
Left or right?
Back to Anna.
Anna?
Okay, come up. Okay, lower, slow. Come up.
Oh,
Well, it's in the top. It's not lined up to the bottom. So maybe I can just do that. Okay.
Sure what 3 that.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is that good?
Okay.
Still too much. I think it might be.
Nope, it's not.
No?
I can see.
So we need more washers, not, well, the
Yeah.
nut was missing too.
Yep. Loop.
Things that don't make it into the 3-minute house build videos on YouTube, right?
Yeah. Wouldn't be a contraption if we didn't have 19 mismatched washers and nuts.
So I guess we do the same thing. Hems are down there, but I go first.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Here goes nothing.
We don't come back. Yenna, you can have the house, but Bugaboo gets the backhoe.
Oh yeah, I think this will work well. Man, maybe you should be going in front. Okay. So I guess let me go up here.
Just support it. You don't have to get all the way up there. Just give it a little love. It'll go.
You gotta push while I pull up. Ready?
I'm aware.
1, 2, 3. Anna could be up there. That might be helpful. So tired of being strong every damn day. Done.
It's good. Stop.
That's it?
Hitting the ground now.
Oh wow, didn't realize that problem.
See that coming.
Totally didn't realize on this side our contraption isn't gonna quite work as we thought it would because the hill is so high that we can't lower the boom while tilting the contraption at a 45-degree angle, right? Will this
So-
work, or is that too shallow of an angle, you
It'll
think?
work. Oh, what the heck? So the cleats are on the wrong side.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Well, we flipped the contraption, right? So I guess that makes sense.
Well, we flipped the cleats.
You flipped the cleats?
Yeah, apparently we should have never flipped the cleats.
Right, because you flipped the contraption.
Apparently. In my mind it made sense to flip them, but here we are.
I can't help with that
Actually,
either.
no, I think it is the right side because eventually I'm going to be
Oh.
offloading on that side.
Right.
So what we could do is have me come farther in and we'll offload to that side. That'll
Right,
work.
that would work.
That'll work. Well, we got to put the offset cleat on first. We haven't got that far yet, so let's work on that. Wow, look at that jet. That's cool.
So just a reminder, we put a string up on the eave to make sure that we're putting our offset cleats straight so that the bottom of our roofing is straight.
It's also to help square to the eave.
That too.
The string represents the eave, and so we're pulling our square from the string, not from the drip edge, because the drip edge is all over the place. It's not precise, but in hypothetical land, if we get the string under 0 tension and get it tight, that represents the eave, and we can make sure that the roofing is square to the roof.
So let's go with the string on the bottom of the holes.
Okay.
Just one. Yep. Somewhere down, midway down there. I'll get the rest of them as we put the roof on. Beautiful. Oh. Coming off. Barely enough room on this cleat. Let's have you move, Anna. Okay, ready to pull a measurement. And we're going to 1 inch.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
And is there any chance we can pull underneath the ladder? Sure. And we need to pull on the north side of the rib, because I measured from this side of the rib. So if we're off by like a 16th, like, it's okay. You're super happy there? Okay, we're off by 3/16. What needs to happen? We need to come my way.
The rope isn't hurting anything.
Say that again?
Is the rope affecting the tape?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Let's try that. Somehow got cattywampus on the tape. Okay, we're off by maybe a 32nd.
Okay.
So just hang tight.
Okay.
You're on 1?
Yep.
It's dead on. 1 second. I just wanna put a screw in here, make sure nothing moves. That puts me 1 inch, 1 1/4 from the eave. What I want to do before we lock this panel down is I want to boom out down there, and I want to check that it's 29 feet 4 inches from ridge to string. So yeah, because it's really freaking important that we be, you know, checking for square correctly. I mean, we checked the big square. That's 6, 8, 10. That's a nice square. And we got it to dead on, like not even off by a 32nd. What you could do that would make be way easier would be to square to the ridge. So pull down like 3/4 and check it for 5. You could also check the rough measurement from the panel edge to the eave just out of, or the rake just out of curiosity. I'm at 1 1/4. Does not mean that the rake is square. It's more just a curiosity measurement. Try this. Do a 12, 16, 20 inches. Just do 12 inches, 16 inches, and 20 inches. The string is within 1/8, and I think it's probably just sagging a little bit under its own weight. Yep. Well, I mean, that far over, it's still 29 feet 4, so I think it's pretty damn good. Would I love to measure that? Sure, but am I gonna be able to? Probably not. Well, to erase confusion and uncertainty, we decided to measure from the top of our plywood to the string, because our drip edge is actually moving in closer to the edge of the roof, and it's really important that this roofing be square to the roof. And I guess you just can't take enough time to be sure, because it's a mess to fix. I mean, a big, big mess if we don't do it right the first time. So after measuring in 3 spots, probably over halfway across the roof, the distance from the top of the plywood to the string is exactly the same. And I would trust our plywood that it's pretty darn good, because most of those sheets are really precise. So give or take the sagginess in the string, which might be 1/8, maybe the thickness of the string, looks like we're doing pretty good.
Gosh. Like suck the root screws down.
Okay, thank you. By some miracle on the west side, we pulled a pretty small square, like 12, 16, 20 inch square. Eesh, tiny square, given the length of this piece of metal. And We stayed square the entire roof. It was just shocking. Like at any moment, Alyssa and I were prepared for horrifically bad news. So now the pressure's on to try to get this side to be just as good and not have problems. So we pulled a 6, 8, 10 foot square and we got it dead on, not off by a 64th. So here's hoping as we kind of monitor the roofing going across, we do not find ourselves out of square. Don't want to deal with that. You should notice that there's way less truss head screws on this side because we went to 2 foot on center, which is what the manufacturer recommends given our wind speed and roof pitch. You got here?
Do you want to take these on the way down?
Yeah.
Oh, you had them. Sorry.
Yep. Okay. It always feels like this part of the process takes forever. We're at a full day right now and we have 1 panel up, which is not unlike the first day we did the other side. We did get a late start today, but we realize now from the other side how important it is to do it right.
It is. Yep.
So I think we're kind of now in position to start knocking it out.
Now we can mob until the last 3 panels, right?
That's it. We think we're gonna put up 8 panels and then check for square again. Not because we're pushing our luck. I think there's just, you're not going to get any more out of square with 1 panel. But I'm going to do small squaring checks as we're working our way across in case something comes to our attention. But other than that,
8 panels might be where we end for this day.
I think 8's all we're going to do
then
today.
I think it's 2 more days to finish the roof.
Easy. And unfortunately, Anna's leaving us.
I told them that.
Oh no.
So we put a few panels on and then we pulled a pretty large square again, and the square, we're out of square by 1/8 in 10 feet. So, which it doesn't really make any sense because we're very confident the first panel was square as heck. So I guess instead of taking panels off, we're gonna slowly try to correct it. Jesse just came up to help me. We're hoping to correct this slowly, 1 panel at a time. We have the rest of the roof to correct this problem. So I went ahead and drilled through the metal here, and then Jesse came up and pulled with all of his strength on this male end here while I put this screw in. So hopefully that gained us maybe a 32nd of an inch. So if we keep doing that, in theory, we'll get back into square.
Getting late, guys. We have 1 panel to go, and Alyssa said something about pizza and ice cream. And that's what's keeping us going. 1 more to go.
Got it?
Okay, yours.
The Getty splash.
Ha! I caught it. Moment of
On the full
truth.
square.
Moment of truth.
I'd be shocked if we corrected it, but
Me too.
all we're looking for is
Signs of
positive
improvement. Yeah. Here you go.
progress.
Ready, Anna? Let's boom out.
Can you tilt that way? Tilt that way.
Are you on 1 inch?
Yeah,
Gained about a 1/16.
that's good.
So in 6 more panels,
We should correct it.
we might be able to get back. Yep, we're about 3/16 out of square now. Sometimes I wonder if trying to square too aggressively ends up creating a less accurate square. Because on the other side, I pulled in inches.
Uh-huh.
I did like a 12, 16, 20 inch.
Right.
And over here, we tried to pull a 6, 8, 10 feet
Yeah.
and ended up with a less square deal. Instead of like standing and looking at it when you punch the screw through. It's like, oh, it's good, punch a screw through,
Right.
move it an eighth.
Yeah, I don't know.
And not realize it.
I'll have to build another house to test the theory.
Apparently we'll stay tuned, guys. We're gonna do it again. But first, pizza. Spaghetti squash.
We'll take a vote.
There's ice cream in there somewhere, and our ice cream supply is dwindling.
It is. I think we only have one more pint,
out.
which is not enough for 3
One
people.
pint and 3 people.
I know. There will be mutiny. But
This
I
is
think
gonna
we have to
get
do a town
dangerous,
run
people.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
Anna had some mint chocolate chip ice cream, and now
She did.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, geez. I smell a store run. All right, let's get out of this contraption.
I think we did great today.
Yeah, I think so too.
We got a late start, and we spent many hours just jockeying around,
Yeah.
right?
Gonna grab that
Oh,
impact
yeah.
before we head out.
Yeah, I feel like once we got the problems worked through, putting on the panels, as always, goes extremely quick.
We got that system
So,
down.
like, that's 8
Getting
panels.
things- yeah. Broke that screw, really.
Good.
Holy macaroni salad.
Another day. What do you think? We're down like 15 minutes a panel? 10?
20. We're probably right at 20.
Yep, I timed you
A
last
little
week.
less.
So Anna
We were
might
not
be able to help us. We're hoping to get an early start, and maybe we could do like 8 panels before she leaves. And then maybe we only need 1 more day to finish the roof,
You get your water bottle.
which might be 2 days from now. Oh, but tomorrow we also have the plumber coming back.
Oh yeah, the plumber.
The plumber!
Dun, dun, dun.
So,
Tomorrow we'll
he-
be busy. Stay tuned.
yeah. Exciting day, guys.
I wonder if the plumber can run a telehandler.
It totally went through my mind. I like totally sized him up in my mind.
So anyway, about that toilet telehandler.
I'd be lying if it wasn't on my mind for at least 5 minutes straight.
Maybe
like,
if we lure him into there and then like shut the door that doesn't exist. I don't know. Things that go through our minds.
yeah.
A little twisted in there.
So our spaghetti squash and our sausage meatballs are ready to go. Except I think we need a side to go with that. We have a bunch of mushrooms, so I'm thinking chard it is. Oh, dang. Oh man, our spaghetti squash has made it all the way to the chard. That's insane.